I've needed to do a quick Bible study like I said I would do, and then I got busy working part-time with the UPS, and I have really been running. But this morning, I wanted to take time this morning before I head out and go to work that especially during this Christmas season, there is a very well-known verse in Luke chapter 2, but I want to bring a different light into it, maybe than you've thought before. And in Luke chapter 2, when it talks about Mary and Joseph going into Bethlehem for the census and all that, where it says, in verse 6 says, and Luke chapter 2, verse 6, "And so it was that while they were there, the days were accomplished that she should be delivered. And she brought forth her firstborn son, wrapped him in swaddling clothes, and laid him in a manger, because there was no room for them in the inn." And people say, well, Jesus was born in a manger because that was basically the will of God. And I want to say, no. The Bible tells you why. And it literally says, because there was no room for them in the end. There was no room anywhere else. So what that tells me is that the Lord will come anywhere, no matter how humble the situation, no matter how rugged or primitive or humble the situation, the Lord will come wherever room is made. The reason why the Lord wasn't born in a palace, because there wasn't an invitation to be there. There wasn't room made. So the Lord will come wherever room is made. So if you and I want the Lord to move in our lives, to walk with us, be part of our lives, we have to make room. It isn't God's decision. When he created human beings, he created us with the divine gift of our own will, and he keeps that sacred. He keeps that very sacred. Well, if God wanted to do this, why didn't he just do it? Well, because people have a will, and God is never going to cross your and my will. And so he knocks on the door. He doesn't kick it down like a John Wayne movie. He knocks on the door, and if the door isn't open, he'll pass you by. So if you want interaction with God in your life, you've got to make room for that. I can't just, this is what I do in wrong. You know, I find myself doing this. I find myself running in my everyday stuff and saying, okay, Lord, I really want, and I expect the King of Glory to run and catch up with me while I go and do my stuff. He's the king. You don't treat the king that way. If I want solidity with the king, then I make room. I choose to let something go. Making room for somebody might be forgiving. If you hold an unforgiveness, you know, people do it all the time and they don't even think about it. They go to church, they do the little do's out here while they hold great animosity towards someone else or something else, not realizing that is keeping God further than arm's length away. So making room for him to move in our lives may be forgiving. It may be releasing an offense, not demanding that be exposed and that it be made right. Some things are just not going to be made right in your life, and you've just got to go on and release it and let it go. Cut your losses and go, and release the offender and all of that. But making room may be as simple. In my case, it's as simple as when I come in from a very busy day, or I'm on the road and I'm around people and this and that, I want to come in and maybe I just want to put on a good movie and I just want to veg out. I just want to sit. I don't want to think. I want to just chill. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying I shouldn't do that. But when I get into a habit of just using that as me time, when God is knocking on my door, I have to make room. So that means when I want to maybe put on a movie, God is saying, no, I want you to come aside. I want you to make room for me. And so making room for him can come in a whole lot of different ways. I'll tell you another thing is your money. People talk what you love. Your checkbook will tell you where your heart is. What you love is where your money goes. And that's making room, and just a lot of different things. But this, not just this season, not just this Christmas season, but through life, make room for the Lord, because he will always show up and manifest himself where someone makes room, sets time aside, opens up their heart, says, God, I want you more than I want my entertainment. I want you more than I want to jump on Facebook and find out what's going on. I want to know. And that's another thing. I wanted to do this a while back when it came out after the election, and Biden is one, and then all of these Christians are, oh my gosh, I thought, and a lot of them just threw their faith down instantly. Well, God could use Biden, and well, yeah, God spoke through a donkey. God could. That's not the issue. God using Biden isn't the issue. The issue is, have you heard from God, and are you standing with it? That's another thing of making room. Amos 3:3 says, how can two walk together except they be agreed? If I drop my faith and I drop what God has said, I've heard the Lord say something about, the election or something else. And then as soon as the situation changes, then I go to thinking of other scenarios. Then I have not made room for the Lord to work. You may want that to happen, but you're not helping bring that to pass. Prophetic words have to have people that stand with the prophecy. That you can't just hope and pray. You have to stand with it. The Bible says if you believe the prophets, you'll receive the prophet's reward. And how can two walk together except they be agreed? Some people are pulling and praying and believing and standing. Other people are hoping. And that doesn't do anything. That you haven't made room. And the reason why a lot of people could drop their faith so quickly is because they hadn't really heard, not for themselves. And why hadn't we heard? Probably because we didn't make room to hear. What is God saying about our season that we're living in right now? What is God saying about it? There's a lot of things I don't pay attention to. And then, I want to know the word of the Lord, and I don't have it because I haven't made room. I haven't come aside. I haven't gotten quiet. But when you do, hold on to it, because every word of the Lord will be tested. It will be tested. But if we've made room for the Spirit of God to speak into our lives, hold on to that word, because God, if it was truly a word from the Lord, it will come to pass. And in this season, in this time, it's not how wonderful you are and how important you are in this world situation that determines how much of God you can have flowing in your life. It's simply the matter of how much room are you making in your life to hear from the Lord, to open up yourself, to have more of him flowing through you. You make room, and you build it, and they will come. You make room, and he will come. God bless you, and God bless your family during this season.